Hey gang, welcome to the channel. Today we are road testing the Kia E Niro 3. This car is once again an EV. Once again this car has been supplied by Car and Cab Care of the Wirral. Thank you, Sean. Now this Kia E Niro 3 has the same platform as the Kia Soul EV I drove a few weeks back. It's got the same 64 kilowatt hour battery, the same 280-ish mile range, it's got the same 0 to 60 time of around 7.9 seconds, and it's got the same top speed of around 100 miles an hour. However, this E Niro 3 does look substantially different to the Soul EV. And inside, it's significantly different to the Soul EV. And the boot to me seems much bigger and much more usable than the Soul EV. Better infotainment screen than the Soul EV. It sits a bit lower than the Soul, and most importantly it has a 150 kilowatt charger, which means you can charge this car from empty to 80% in 18 minutes if you can find a 150 kilowatt charger. The reason I'm doing this road test today is to A, have a proper look at this car, have a proper look at the specs, and also to do a bit of a range test. So today we are driving up to the Ponderosa Cafe, which is just near the Horseshoe Pass in North Wales. It's one of my favourite routes. I do this route regularly on my motorbike. I must have done this route over 100 times. And although it's 20-25 minutes of boring motorway where I'm going to try to not fall asleep, once you get into North Wales there are some really nice roads, there's some really nice scenery. And when you get to the Ponderosa itself, you can have a nice cup of coffee with some nice views as well. Now, as I mentioned while driving the car, this really is a nice place to be. These seats, lovely, leather, comfy, fully electrically operated, beautiful seats, and they really are comfortable. The steering wheel again looks to me like it's leather bound. It's a really nice size actually. I thought it'd be a little bit bigger. Lots of buttons here on the steering wheel. And again, in this car we get a proper infotainment system as opposed to in the Soul EV, which is a little tiny widescreen jobby. So I'm just going to take the camera off now, show you around the dashboard and all the nice little cubby holes that come in the car as well. So, starting from the left hand side, nice plain door card with a little cubby hole. These seats, as you can see, do look lovely, absolutely beautiful. Plenty of leg room up front. Lovely gloss black touch on the dashboard. Nice big screen right in the centre of the dashboard. And you've got your sat nav, and then you've got your music display, and then you've got your battery display. Then we come onto that steering wheel, which I'm very, very keen on, which has got plenty of buttons on there. And then the actual display itself, where you can see on the left hand side you have your range, and it tells you you're driving a Niro just in case you forget. And on the inside, sorry, in the middle, there is a compass for some reason, and tells you what driving mode you're in. And on the right hand side you have your speedometer. Now, as promised, I said I'd show you the back of the car, how much room there is in the back. And leg room wise, there is plenty. Right, and here's the good stuff guys, what I promised you. Oh, and it makes a right good noise when you put your foot down as well. Sounds like some kind of turbine. As soon as you start messing with your right foot when you're in sport mode, this thing just takes off, man. Jesus. I'm normally around these corners. I'm trying to get my knee down. I'm failing miserably. Now it's quite hard getting used to how much torque is in that motor in sport mode. That's nearly caught me out a few times. So you've got to be really precise with your right foot. Otherwise those wheels will most definitely spin. That's not what you want when coming out of a corner. Now once again, I've got to remind you, kind folk, if you do go and test drive or indeed purchase an electric car, please be aware the engine braking. There is lots of engine braking. Lots of engine braking. You barely need to use your brake pedal. Now this Kia E Niro 3, if you buy from Car and Cab Care, if you are private hire or a taxi driver, will set you back £35,800, which at first sounds like an awful lot of money. If you buy it from Kia, you'd be looking at more like £37,000, which again sounds like an awful lot of money. But for a starter, please bear in mind that this car will cost you around 1.5 pence a mile to run on electricity, and you'll never have to change the oil in the oil filter, you'll never have to change an air filter, you'll never have to replace a clutch. So we're going to talk about the level of kit you get with this car now. And for a starter, inside I can see you get so much of it, it's unreal. So I'm going to start first of all with the obvious things. You get electric mirrors, you get electric windows all around, you get power steering, remote central locking, all the usual stuff. And then you get the electric heated seats, and you get electric heated steering wheel, and you get leather seats and a leather steering wheel. You get an electric handbrake. You get all the info you could possibly need right in front of you. You get millions of buttons on the steering wheel, you get millions of buttons in the center console, you get a glove box, you get a cubby hole, you get another cubby hole and another cubby hole, and you get a readout of your range in front of you and on the infotainment system as well. And you get DAB radio, Bluetooth. Quite frankly, it's amazing all the kit you get in this car, and the car itself has impressed me massively today. There's so little I could criticise about this car. The one thing I didn't like driving the car today was the lane assist. The lane assist won't just beep, but it'll try and put you back in your lane. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm an experienced driver and I know how to drive, and I'm fully awake when I'm driving. I don't need a car telling me to move back into a lane or helping me to drive in any way, shape or form, because I can drive perfectly just on my own. Thank you very much, Kia. However, I'm sure you can switch that off. I just haven't found out a way to do it today. Now, I said we look at the range today, which is something we're going to do right now as I'm dropping the car off. So, we have done 78 mile round trip, and we've used 82 miles of the range. Bearing in mind, I've driven about 40 miles of motorway today. I've used sport mode several times. I've not driven slowly, apart from when being stuck behind traffic. Any opportunity I've got, I've put my foot down. I've not messed about at all today. It was in eco mode for a total of 10 minutes, and it's nearly true to its range, despite the fact I've used motorway and put my foot down. So I feel absolutely confident in saying this car, if driven appropriately, will at least get its range of 281 miles, if not even more, if you drive sensibly and don't use motorway regularly. And something I didn't mention today, whilst driving on those wonderful roads, is that the road holding on this car is absolutely fantastic. Whether it's a low speed corner or a high speed corner or a high speed straight, whatever it was, the car felt planted and like it was in control and composed. The only time it didn't feel composed was when I was in sport mode and I was putting my foot down coming out of a corner, which is something you'd adjust to. This car has been quick, this car has been efficient with its electricity supply, it has been comfy, it's got so much kit. I am astounded with this car. Would I recommend this car? Yes. Yes, I would. Even at the asking price of £36,700 from Kia, this is still an excellent car. And thanks for watching, guys, really. And if you enjoyed the content and want to see more car reviews, more road tests, more car related things, more motorbike related things, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please, guys.